All right, man. Well,
What up?
we got to talk some bang bang boogie business.
Oh man, here we go.
The mayor of New York appointed Mysonne to his transition team as an advisor, and people were outraged. The New York Post had him on the front page saying, "Crime boss who served 7 years for armed robbery is appointed justice advisor." What was your reaction, man?
I mean, I'm all right. First of all, I don't really know to what extent his position is. You understand what I'm saying? I just know he got appointed.
Well, let me tell you. So, from what I understand, he's there to help talk about policies, like who gets appointed to be a part of the mayor's staff. Like he's one of 20 people on a committee that they discuss and vote and advise the mayor.
Okay, so he's basically an advisor. He's on a table like a council,
Right.
and they hear him out as a vote. All right, that's dope. I mean, coming from a street aspect, from who he is to put his opinion through at the table, I get that. Okay.
But what was your reaction when you first saw it?
I was surprised. Like I said, I just saw he got appointed. I just didn't know what I thought it was going to be more towards him being like an in between with like prison rights or something with Rikers Island. You know what I'm saying? Like dealing with like stuff like that. I didn't know exactly what his appointment, because I mean I didn't look into it either. You know what I mean? I just saw it and I was like, oh shit, but I didn't know what the basis of the appointment was, to be honest with you.
Oh, you thought that the mayor was going to turn to him and be like, "We gonna need that Mysonne gun in the right palm."
No, it's like you look at it like, all right, bro. He's been advocating, you know what I'm saying, for prisoners' rights and with the Black Lives Matter stuff and all this stuff. So that's what I figured. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be honest with you, that's what I figured it was going to be, something to that extent. You know what I'm saying? Like an advocate for like prisoners' rights or something like that from somebody from a street perspective. You know what I mean? Like, or from a hip hop perspective. Let me put it the hip hop perspective better than the street perspective, because Mice ain't been in the streets for like none of us have in years, but you know what I mean? So from a hip hop perspective, it's dope that somebody from the hip hop community, especially, you know, my song spit some fire, you know what I mean? To be appointed that, I thought it was dope, you know what I mean? I didn't really give it too much thought, you know what I mean?
People were questioning like whether it's legit or he's just being used as a tool, like, see, we care about black people type of thing. Did you see what Hocus had to say about it?
I actually didn't. I saw a little bit of S1. I think he did it with on a podcast. He talked about it a little bit. I saw some of it, but I really didn't really see too much of it. Do I think that they probably using them? Of course. And I'm pretty sure he's going to use them to his benefit. Because let's be real, ain't nobody doing nothing for nobody for no reason. You know what I mean? Somehow either the mayor and them have to, you know what I'm saying, be benefiting from using it, either to use them as a token person or as a hip hop person or whatever they want to justify, you know what I mean? Because I really don't know the qualifications it takes to be on that table, you know what I'm saying, to be voting policy. Like policy as far as what, like police officers and garbage, sanitation, like running the whole city. That's
I think so. He said like safety and like that type of stuff, I think.
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I thought it was more of a, like a prison rights thing. I really don't know, but.
Well, when it came to what Hocus said, I think he ended up taking down the video though. So maybe him and Mike spoke and everything's cool now. But from what I remembered, it was like a pretty blunt reaction. Like, are you really going to make a change or speak for us? Like, what are you really going to do type of thing, you know?
That's a good question though. That'd be a good question to ask Mice.
Right.
Like, what is your plan and what are you doing? But I mean, let's be honest. If he's one of 20 people, and it's a vote, like how much can he really, sway whatever? He's going to give his opinion and you got 19 other people there like, nah. So.
What's it like for you seeing now rappers, or I guess maybe hip hop, being embraced so much by the public and, by politics and the influence that people have because they are a rapper?
I mean, who else has more influence nowadays? I mean, back in the days, it was basketball, sports stars that had influence. This already started since the Obama, when
Right.
Young Jeezy did the song, we got a black president and all that stuff. So, I mean, that's the most popular thing. That's all kids listen to. Let's be realistic. What is the most popular agenda of music in the world? I think hip hop's probably one of the top ones. No?
Definitely the top.
So who would you
So
use?
it's like synonymous with pop culture now,
Of
pretty
course.
much.
So
You know?
you're gonna use credible members in that community to try to use them to push your point of view across or whatever. It's a pimping game. You know what I mean? Let's be realistic.
Yeah, but now it's like you see the potential of actual rappers going into politics, right? To a certain extent. Like obviously you can only go so far if you have a record.
I mean, you also got to understand we're like how many generations into hip hop. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Who else is going to do it? You had all the actors from back in the days. You had Ronald Reagan, that was an actor. You had other people that were
Arnold.
Even President Trump. Trump was he was doing, what was that shit called? The Apprentice and all that stuff.
Yep.
So
He was on Fresh Prince.
Fresh Prince. So this,
Right.
I forgot about that. I think he was on different strokes at one point too.
No, I remember he was on Home Alone too.
Yeah, so it's like
Yeah.
people transition. You gotta look at it like people transition. What are you gonna use? Who's gonna run? Let's be realistic. Who do they have to run for political government and stuff like that? They're gonna have to use people that's in hip hop. That is gonna have. That's the only logical thing for them to move into that. You know what I mean? What else are they gonna do?
I guess it makes sense because it's like, you know how like they go, we need the black vote, so we need to align with these people or something like that.
But you also got to understand there's a lot of people that's involved in politics that do music. Like look at Bad Bunny, right? I'm not a Bad Bunny fan. I'm going to be I wasn't. And after I saw the what he did for the Puerto Rican economy with that concert, the way that he did those concerts in Puerto Rico and how it was flooded out there, and they made money, and like he brought the economy up over there. So you got to there's a lot of people that care about their community that's going to do certain things to try to better themselves. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. There's a lot of people's moving into politics. You know what I mean? I'm not going to get into all the Spanish stuff because I know a lot of people on your channel don't really be watching the Spanish rap, but the dude Calle 13, he's a rapper, old school rapper from Puerto Rico, and he's pro Palestine or pro this. So he had concerts set up for all through Europe, and one of the people that was sponsoring the concert was part of the Zionists or whatever, and he found out and canceled the whole concert and said, I won't go against my political beliefs and da-da-da. So there's a lot of people that's involved in music that stand by their beliefs and their belief
Yo, wait.
system.
Didn't something happen like that with Nicky Jam?
I don't know if it was something happened with Nicky Jam. I know it was with Calle 13, but it could be with Nicky Jam because Nicky Jam is real into the Puerto Rican thing too. That like, bro, bro, you gotta see it out there, bro. Like first of all, let's finish the politics thing, and then I'll take you to a whole different thing because then I'm gonna get sidetracked. So you know what I mean. But there's a lot of people that's involved in the community. You know what I mean, that are actually trying to better their community. I mean, listen, in New York, who else you got besides Mice that's been really pushing to advocate? You know, now you got S1 that's doing his thing, but I don't see S1 going into that. I see S1 going more into prison rights and trying to do something for the inmates because that shit in there is bad, bro. I get phone calls from in there. Yo, it's bad, bro. It's bad. It's bad business, bro. Like there's so much, you know, the people that's dying. I mean, they were dying when we was there, you know what I mean? But is getting to an extreme now with today's society, with the way you got everything's on the phones. It's so publicized and nobody's doing nothing to try to reform or try to better I get it. A lot of people, some dudes belong there. They shouldn't be in the street, but you can't treat people like animals. You know what I'm saying? You got to be a human. You know what I'm saying? You got to treat people like humans. If you want to be treated, you got to give them the basic necessities. And some of them in there is not even being given those necessities. Medical and things like that. It's just disgusting. It's disgusting.
Well, to bring it back to S, right? And I think S will agree with this as well. S is a little rough around the edges. Like he wouldn't. Like,
of course he is, bro. He's still getting his feet wet in the free world, bro. What are you talking about? That man just did an asshole full of time. Like, what do you mean?
But what I'm saying though is that like he's not the type that's gonna be like, oh, okay, yes, sir, and like I'm gonna, and then like kind of like play the game.
But he's not supposed to be. If you're an advocate, you're gonna speak however you speak. Because some people need to understand the way we talk. Fuck how they talk. You know what I'm saying? All that nice.
But what I'm saying is that sometimes people will like, to get ahead, they'll play the game and do that. I can't see him playing the politics.
S don't got the patience for that. Hell no.
Yeah. He don't take no shit.
He'd be like, yeah. What you said? Hold up. Nah, bro. But nah. But that's what I'm saying. Like I see certain people like. You got to look at it. Who's going to be the people to move up there? I know we're not supposed to speak about certain individuals, but I see certain individuals trying to set that platform up. And I'm telling you, certain people trying to set certain platforms up, bro. Like you could tell who's trying to run political and who's not. You could tell. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man.